Recently, Larry Nassar was sentenced to 175 years in jail.
Sir, you do not deserve to walk outside of a prison ever again.
Larry Nassar was convicted of possessing child pornography and molesting up to 175 women at Michigan State University, as well as Olympic gymnasts when he was a doctor for the national team. This was done under the guise of medical treatment.
You have not yet owned what you did, that you still think that somehow you are right, that you are a doctor, that you're entitled, that you don't have to listen, and that you did treatment.
It is difficult to imagine the pain that he caused all of his victims in nearly 2 decades of practice.
168 buckets of water were placed on your so-called match that got out of control.
Or how he was allowed to continue molesting patients when allegations of his behavior surfaced as early as 1997.
You can't give them back their innocence, their youth. You can't give a father back his life, or one of your victims her life when she took it.
Though Nassar apologized, Judge Rosemarie Aquilina found his apology to be insincere.
But you decided to not address what's inside you that causes this control urge, that causes you to be a sexual predator. You played on everyone's vulnerability. You have done nothing to control those urges, and anywhere you walk, destruction will occur.
The 175-year prison sentence will ensure that Nassar is in prison for life.
I've just signed your death warrant. I need everyone to be quiet.
As we move forward,
Inaction is an action.
it is important that we remember Judge Rosemarie Aquilina's words.
Silence is indifference.
As we take away 2 key things.
Justice requires action and a voice, and that is what has happened here in this court.
This is not over.
We have won this first battle, but our war is not over.
Though many MSU leaders have stepped down, including President Luana Simon,
MSU knows what they have coming. You know that you enabled and are accountable for ignoring complaints from the past, so I gladly say goodbye, Luana Simon. Your time as president will be over, and shame on you for not listening to young women.
there are still many that remain that need to be held accountable for their neglect.
What was being done to these athletes, and decided to turn a blind eye to keep their reputation strong in their pockets.
And we demand full transparency in their investigation. Also, USA Gymnastics supported a culture
Even the other trainer, Debbie Van Hook, who still now works for USA Gymnastics, would be in the room many of the times Larry abused me.
where Larry Nassar was allowed to thrive. They also supported a training facility called Caroli Ranch.
There's an eerie feeling as soon as you step foot onto the Caroli Ranch. It is completely removed from all civilization. In the case of an emergency, the closest hospital is so far away, you need to be helicoptered there. To get to the ranch, you must drive up a dirt road for what seems like an eternity. And the closest civilization is a high-security prison 30 miles away.
That mentally abused women for years.
On top of that, there's no cell service. It's completely isolated, and that's no mistake. That is how the Carolis wanted it. We lived off the snacks that we had to sneak in our luggage. I eventually spiraled into a very intense and destructive eating disorder for 6 years. I took anywhere from 5 to 15 laxatives without missing a single day for those 6 years. Thinking that was the only way to stay skinny enough and therefore be liked by my coaches and the national team staff.
Bella Caroli and Marta Caroli need to answer for the roles they played in enabling Larry Nassar.
Depending on the day, I would have 6 or 7 hour practices 6 days a week. towards myself when I got home.
Second key takeaway: we can do better.
If over these many years just one adult listened and had the courage and character to act, this tragedy could have been avoided. I and so many others would have never, ever met you.
We can do better. Larry Nassar was a monster, and there is absolutely no excuse for what he did to all those women over the years. Unfortunately, we cannot go back in time and undo all of these atrocities. What we can do is look to the future and prevent this from happening again. We can only do this by recognizing that Nassar had family, friends, and co-workers that genuinely saw the good in him. Nassar put these people in very difficult positions that we may find ourselves in someday. Denial and inaction of those closest to him allowed him to continue to victimize women for at least 2 decades. Those that were in authority had a responsibility to give voice to those that did not have a voice, and empower those that had been deprived of power. They had failed. MSU school officials had a responsibility to protect their students. The USG had a responsibility to protect their young athletes. And though they were put in difficult positions, they still chose to abdicate their responsibility. What we cannot do is continue to strive to simply not do something wrong. Even when we are put in very difficult situations, we have to get together as a group and start to do things that are right. We have to accept that those around us, those that we love, may be capable of evil actions. Despite this, we cannot fall into the trap that so many have fallen into in the past and remain silent. We can no longer ignore our responsibility to protect those around us that are crying out for help. We have to put the next Larry Nassar behind bars before he can even begin. We have to set a new standard for ourselves going forward and be better people. As we move forward, Judge Rosemary Aquilina's words make even more sense.
Inaction is an action. Silence is indifference. Justice requires action and a voice, and that is what has happened here in this court.
Don't let victims be forced into silence, even if they are family, friends, co-workers, or loved ones.